It was early winter in the quiet little village of Burkhollow. Frost clung to the thatched rooftops, and smoke curled lazily from chimneys. Most families were indoors, gathered near their fires. The villagers had their routines, feeding chickens, mending fences, chopping wood, always with an eye on the forest that bordered their land. That forest was old, and the people said it was home to foxes, deer, and sometimes wolves. But wolves hadn't been seen in years, or so they thought. One evening, 12-year-old Tomas was helping his father bring in firewood when he noticed something odd: paw prints in the snow. Bigger than any dogs he had ever seen, they came from the edge of the forest, crossed the frozen stream, and stopped just behind the old grain shed. "Papa, look," Tomas whispered. His father crouched, pressing his calloused hand next to the print. The size difference made his brow tighten. "That's no farm dog," he said quietly. "Best not tell your mother yet. We'll check in the morning." That night, Tomas couldn't sleep. Every creak of the wooden beams sounded like footsteps outside. By morning, word had already spread. Old Mrs. Havers spotted a shadow moving between the trees when she went to fetch water. Others claimed they heard a low howl carried on the wind. At dusk, the village elders met in the town hall. Some argued it was nothing, just a stray dog or an overactive imagination. Others remembered the old winters, when wolves came down from the mountains to hunt. To be safe, they decided no one should go near the forest after sunset, and livestock should be locked away earlier. Tomas noticed the change immediately. The streets were emptier, doors were shut sooner. The village felt smaller somehow, as if fear had pushed the walls inward. 3 days later, it happened. Tomas was delivering bread to the miller's wife when he heard a commotion near the sheep pen. He hurried over and saw a flash of gray fur, thick, mottled, and moving fast. The wolf was larger than he'd imagined. Its eyes weren't the bright yellow of a fairy tale, but a deep amber, alert and intelligent. It didn't growl or simply stared at the gathered crowd, head low, tail stiff. Then, with a quick leap, it was gone back toward the trees. After the sighting, the elders debated whether to hunt it. The shepherd, Elias, argued strongly against it. "It's alone," Elias said. "A wolf like that will only take what it needs. If we don't chase it, it might pass through." But not everyone agreed. Chickens went missing. Goat tracks ended abruptly near the forest line. The villagers' patience wore thin. One night, the village dogs began barking wildly. Tomas ran to the window and saw torchlightmen gathering with spears, bows, and hunting dogs. His father was among them. "We can't risk it taking a child next," he said, voice firm but not unkind. Tomas wanted to protest, but the words stuck in his throat. He only managed, "Be careful." The hunting party set off toward the forest. The hunt lasted hours. The men returned with frost in their beards, some limping, their torches half burned. They didn't bring back the wolf. Elias told the story. "We found it near the stream. It didn't run at first, it stood and watched us. Then, when the dogs moved closer, it turned and vanished into the thick pines. We followed the tracks until the snow came heavy, and then, nothing. It was as if the forest swallowed it whole." The days grew quieter. The paw prints stopped appearing. The chickens stayed safe. Some said the wolf had gone back to the mountains. Others believed it still watched from the shadows, deciding whether to trust or avoid the humans. One crisp morning, Tomas went to fetch water from the stream. Across the frozen bank, just at the edge of the trees, he saw it, the same gray shape. Standing still, the wolf met his eyes for a brief moment, then turned, disappearing silently into the forest. Tomas didn't feel afraid. Instead, he felt understood, as if the wolf had chosen to leave the village in peace, and in return, the village would leave the forest alone. From then on, the villagers kept their distance, and winter passed without trouble. But whenever the wind carried a faint howl at night, Tomas would smile, knowing that somewhere out there, the wolf still roamed free.